Looking back at my freshman year, I was struggling badly. I kept on bombing exams. I couldn't grasp new concepts and my life depended on it. And worst of all, I had a 2.7 GPA. Fast forward a year later, I finished my sophomore fall with a 3.6 GPA, and I was also able to co-author a paper for the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. If you're new around here, my name is Mustafa Alawad. I'm currently a CS sophomore at the University of Texas at Dallas, and I make these videos to help other students become the best versions of themselves. Today, I'm going to be talking about how research changed the way I look at school and ultimately made me a better student, and how it can make you a better student as well. Let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so what I have for you guys here is 3 simple bullet points on how research changed my mindset and how it will hopefully change yours as well. So let's just get straight into it with the first bullet. Bullet number 1 is show me that code can actually solve problems. Now, what do I mean by this? Because you might be thinking, oh, you're probably taking programming classes as a CS major and you're solving problems in your classes. Yes, I agree, we're solving problems in my classes, but the issue is I really feel like those problems are unintuitive and they've already been solved before, right? So with these projects that you get in class, at least at my university, you're not building any UI for them. They're mainly terminal based, and they're not really intuitive. Like one example of a project I did in class was an inventory management system. Let's be real for a second. That's a very, very, very boring project. I really feel like the only way to get better at programming is to actually go outside of class and build something that you really, really like enjoying, or something that has users and has real benefit. Because the only thing that you're going to be doing in class is you're only going to be getting the grade, right? No user is going to end up using your program other than maybe the grader, and that's about it. You forget about it. But with doing something outside of class, it makes it much more worthwhile, and I feel like you learn a lot more. And the fastest way to learn is by actually doing a project. Now, there's multiple different avenues you can take to building a project, like one, doing internship, but the issue with doing an internship is they don't really hire freshmen because of the job market right now. And this, I guess the second option is to do a personal project just on your own. But the issue I have with that is what ends up happening is you just end up following the YouTube video almost line by line, and then you kind of almost didn't code it yourself, right? So why I recommend research heavily is you're going to be solving a problem that hasn't been solved before ever. So you can't just go to GPT, or you can't just go to YouTube to figure out how to code it. You have to figure out how to code it by yourself. And that leads me to bullet number 2. Alrighty, point number 2. If I can solve the unknown, I can solve the known. So kind of what I was talking about with this first point here, once you're working on a research project, you're basically solving an issue that humanity has never solved before. If you're working on a really, really good project, you're probably 9 times out of 10 in a research lab, you're working on something that humanity has never done. So like I said before, you can't just like go and follow a YouTube video word for word, or line for line, and you can't just throw the problem into GPT, because GPT has only been trained on the stuff that it already knows. It can't just think of new ideas automatically, right? So I took that mindset with me of solving the unknown, because I was able to successfully write that NASA paper. I took that and I brought it into my classes, right? Because when it comes to the material in class, all that stuff has already been figured out, right? So you'll have your textbook, and all that knowledge that you're getting tested on in your exams, it's already known knowledge, right? Sure, the material, absolutely, it's still hard. Don't get me wrong, it's still hard. I'm taking data structures right now, and that first homework assignment I had kicked my ass. But because I had the mindset of, oh, I did this paper and I solved this really complicated problem that nobody's ever solved before, I can 110% solve these problems, because the solution's already there and somebody already figured this stuff out for me. They already did the hard work for me. Now I just have to go and apply my work ethic and my knowledge into actually understanding the material. That's all classes really are, and I want you guys to understand that so that you don't really put too much stress on yourselves while you're taking these classes, because ultimately all the knowledge is there, and all you really need to do as a student, you just need to lock in, focus up, study, and you should be fine. Trust me, there are a lot of people who are probably less intelligent than you watching this video right now who have gotten their degrees and they've gotten by just fine. Alrighty, so for the third and final point of this video that I learned from research, and I want you guys to learn as well, is that it just gives you so much more confidence in everything that you do, right? So what even is confidence, right? Where do human beings get confidence from? All confidence really is your preparation and what you've done in the past. If you're prepared for something, you're gonna go into it more confident, right? So now I internally hold myself to the standard that I've done research at a very, very high level. And a byproduct of just holding myself to that standard is just getting good grades, right? If I didn't have that NASA experience, I probably wouldn't hold myself to the standard that I have now. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be at NASA. It could be at your university. As long as you're working on a really cool project that has impact, you're gonna hold, trust me when I say this, you're gonna hold yourself to a way, way higher standard. And what comes with research is a lot of people around you have PhDs. And in order to get a PhD, you need to have a pretty high GPA. You need to have a decent GPA, at least above a 3.0, right? So you're always gonna, no matter what, you're always gonna hold yourself to that standard of, okay, I need to focus, lock in. I need to make sure I at least get that bare minimum 3.0 in my classes, right? So just that by default of me being so confident to the point where I know I did that paper, it binds me to a standard that I have for myself of getting good grades. And I can't possibly go back to the old version of myself, that 2.7 version of myself, right? So internally I'm always visualizing, okay, I've done this experience, I have to live up to it now. And I really feel like it's the confidence that drives me to do that. And I really want you guys to experience it for yourself, because once you hold yourself to that standard, you'll never be able to go back down. It's just constant momentum. And I really feel like the best way to do that is by solving a very, very difficult problem, because it gives you so much more confidence than everybody around you. And I don't want you guys to confuse that with arrogance, because arrogance and confidence are two different things. You need confidence in order to do well in your classes, and I want you guys to understand that, because the moment you start doubting yourself, as cliche as it sounds, that's when you really start to fail. And I don't want that for any of you guys. I want you guys to be as confident as possible, and the only way to be confident is by solving difficult problems. Alrighty, those are the 3 bullet points, or the 3 ideas that I really wanted to show you guys on how research changed my mindset in school and how it will hopefully change your mindset. What I really want you guys to learn from this is that doing research is a really positive thing, and that I really feel like doing research does have positive effects on your mindset. And once it has that positive effect on your mindset, everything else will go up as well. Your GPA, your social life, really any aspect of your life, you just become so much more confident. And I really want that point to get across to you guys with this video. If you like content like this, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out a lot. Guard your hearts. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.